We bought our off-grid property in the high country of the northern New England tablelands and southern Granite Belt area about 3 years ago now. Since then, this rugged land has become our sanctuary, a place where we've built a life from the ground up. One of our ongoing projects has been building our outhouse, a task we've been working diligently on for about 2 of those 3 years. And recently, our good mate Darryl gifted us an old garden gate, a weathered piece of history that we've decided to transform into our bathroom door.
I'm just going to get a wire brush onto the steel, get all the rust off, and then like that I'll paint all in here the same. But I'll need a brush for that to get in behind the iron. But yeah, give it a bit of he just had this sitting in a pile. I said, "Oh, what are you doing with your door?" He goes, "You can have it."
The gate, though smaller than our entryway, carries with it a charm and character that modern doors lack. Paul began using the angle grinder, its harsh metallic whine cutting through the morning air as it sliced off the old latch and lock. The smell of burning metal mixed with the fresh scent of eucalyptus from the surrounding bushland. For the past 6 to 12 months, we've made do with an old curtain as our bathroom door. And the curtain, though functional, flaps wildly in the wind, offering little privacy or protection from the elements. But we've come a long way from the days of shower tents that get blown away in the wind, often ending up wrapped around trees in a tangled mess. With the latch removed, Paul used a screwdriver to dig out the old lock from the door, prying it free with brute strength and determination. Living off-grid isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving in harmony with the land. And sustainable living to me means using our resources wisely, reducing waste and minimising our environmental footprint. So we've embraced using solar power, harvesting the sun's energy to meet our needs. Our little vegetable garden provides some fresh produce for us, and we recycle and repurpose materials whenever we can. You can probably see Truffle's old daybed outside there rotting away like a junkyard mess. It's a sad sight, but Truffles has just been given a new bed, one that she seems to like much better. Hello, Poppy.
Take off the cutting disc. Just drop it in the dirt.
Next, Paul replaced the cutting disc on the grinder with a wire brush. As he worked, I could see the years of rust and grime giving way to the intricate metalwork decorations. The metal brush strips all the rust and paint away from the metal. Finding new life for old items like Darryl's garden gate. It's a lifestyle that requires effort and ingenuity, but it rewards us with a deeper connection to the land and also a greater appreciation for the simple things. That's me having a go of the wire brush. Fashion trendsetter, I know. When I think back on all the pioneers, how hard their lives must have been and how tough they had things compared to how we have it now, I'm just in awe. We have access to so much they didn't. We have cars to drive for hundreds of kilometres to see specialists if we need to, or to go out and buy milk and bread. We don't have to make our own butter. We have plenty of access to sanitary products and we're connected to the world via the internet. So we know in an instant what's happening on the other side of the world if we want to. So once all the metalwork had been brushed with the wire brush, we prepared the oil. Just giving it a quick stir with a stick we found just to make sure it was all mixed up properly. The oil will hopefully bring out the natural beauty of the timber but also protect it from the elements. And as we brushed on the oil, The wood drank it up, transforming from a dull, weathered grey to a rich, warm brown. The oil will need to be reapplied over time, probably about once a year, to maintain its protective qualities. So we don't have to fight for resources, except maybe toilet paper, like when COVID was at its peak. We have access to medical assistance, even via helicopter if desperate, and firefighters in the air keeping check on all our lands. And despite all these advancements, we are far from living sustainably right now. We are still trying to establish a decent garden, even after a few years, and we still access the supermarket in town for some items, and both of us work full time. So we can't dedicate all our time to the farm yet. I don't expect to ever go back to a life like the pioneers had, but I do want to know where my food comes from. And I want to be more connected to the land, to live a simple, a slow life and have less pressure to be everything society expects. The constant need to live up to everyone else's highlight reel on Facebook or Instagram is exhausting and damaging to our mental health. When I was young, there was no internet. Yes, I am that old. And I felt less pressure to live up to the expectations of others. I didn't feel like I needed to look great. I just lived my life, playing in the streets with my friends, going on adventures, camping, hiking, getting drunk and doing all the stupid things. And that's why when I make these videos, I want them to be real life. Challenges and obstacles, including the disappointments and the struggles. That is life. So this just shows you the difference of how the gate looked before and after the oil. And so with the gate cleaned and oiled, Paul moved on to the next step. He carefully marked the spots for where the hinges needed to be with a permanent marker, ensuring they were perfectly aligned. And the thing about life is that there will always be good times and there will always be bad times. And if we've never had bad times, we just can't appreciate the good times. So I guess that's why I really don't mind the struggles, because I know that one day there'll be good times ahead. Paul just oiling down the back of the door here.
Can you help me carry the door to in front of there? I want to lay it across the steps if it will go.
We laid the door on its side and Paul used the centre point to ensure the drill bit wouldn't wander as he made the holes for the screws. So a centre point is also known as a centre punch. It's a tool used to mark the centre of a hole you want to drill. It creates a small indentation or dimple in the material, which helps guide the drill bit and prevents it from wandering or slipping when starting to drill. The sound of the drill echoed in the quiet, punctuated by the occasional call of a kookaburra. The hinges, solid and sturdy, were soon secured in place, both on the gate and on the door frame of our outhouse. Hinges are typically placed 7 inches from the top and 11 inches from the bottom. Sometimes you have a third hinge in the middle for heavier doors. Paul is using the self-tapping tech screws, which is a type of fastener designed to tap its own hole into the material. These screws are specifically designed to be used with metal and wood, and they are very efficient because they have like a drill bit like point that allows them to drill through the material without the need for a pre-drilled hole. The threads of tech screws are sharp and designed to cut through materials as the screw is driven in. This self-tapping feature ensures a tight fit and strong hold. Hopefully he's put the hinges on the right way.
Hopefully it's the right way. As well.
I don't know if you can see my Highland cow slipper there in the background behind the plant. Truffles stole my Highland cow slippers and ate their faces off. Poor Highland cows. So now the slippers are her toys. What have you done with my Highland cow slippers, Poppy?
You got a cow? It's a cow puppy.
Was that my slipper? Puppy?
What?
Was that my slipper?
What's that? Bring it here. Drop. No. What's this? Is that a slipper? It was a cow puppy.
The gap on the side of the door needed to be filled in with a custom frame. Paul measured and cut the timber pieces with the table saw, each cut precise and deliberate. The frame wasn't square, and he had to adjust each piece to fit the irregular shape perfectly. Time for a break. Tonight we're having fried rice. I find that this is a great dish to use up all the leftover veggies and things that I need to use up. We have quite a few videos that we've made over the last couple of years about building the outhouse, so if you're interested how we got to this point, go and check out our other outhouse building videos. Reflecting on our journey over the last few years, we deeply appreciate the support of our viewers. For those of you that have been with us from the start, to the new subscribers who have just joined us on our adventure, your encouragement means the world to us. We used the Black Ridge compressor to get the nail gun working to secure the frame into the building.
See if the generator
Our small generator struggled to keep up with the power demand, a constant reminder of the larger generator that had blown up a couple of months earlier. The backfire explosion had almost blown a hole in Paul's leg, leaving him with second-degree burns. We had to take the generator to Lismore, a 4-hour round trip, to get it repaired, and we're still waiting to get it back. To create the frame for the door, Paul's now nailing in a king stud into the wall studs. He adds a horizontal piece of wood known as a noggin or blocking. These pieces are placed between the vertical studs to provide additional support and stability, as well as to secure the elements like the insulation or the plywood wall. With the frame in place, we tested the fit of the door. It slided into position snugly, a perfect fit. The satisfaction of seeing it finally in place was immense. The door, now restored and functional, stood as a testament to our hard work and resourcefulness. All that remained was to find a suitable handle or latch to lock it when needed. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in shades of orange and pink, we sat by the fire, the stars beginning to twinkle in the vast Australian wilderness. Another job was done. The warmth of the fire and the beauty of the sunset provided a perfect end to a productive day.